Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Yenton from United Hydrogen. Very pleased to meet everyone. First of all, I would like to thank VHAC, President Minh, for inviting me to speak at this, and of course, Mr. Andy Lay, who has also helped to put these two together. Without further ado, I would just like to share more about what we, United Hydrogen, has done in the agriculture business and how hydrogen can be used in the agriculture industry. Let me start by just sharing a quick video about what we do.
Through our hydrogen-enriched water system, hydrogen molecules are infused into water at the nanoscale. This enriched water flows through pipelines to irrigate rice fields, helping crops withstand environmental stress and grow stronger, enhancing resilience and improving overall quality.
Okay, as you can see, these are some of what we have done in the industry with one of our solution, which is to infuse water with hydrogen to be used for irrigation. And in the further slides that we will share later on, you'll be able to see what this technology is about and some of what we have achieved. So a little bit about United Hydrogen, very fast. We are a pioneering hydrogen revolution through connecting production to real world applications. And in this case, we are doing agriculture industry. And then I think as part of this revolution, we will hope to deliver a sustainable and efficient solution for a cleaner, brighter future, which I believe every one of us here is for. Yeah. And I wouldn't go into too much details about the hydrogen, but I think everyone knows what hydrogen is, and there's a lot of experts here. But I think in terms of how we can actually, the core technology or the core theory behind that is that actually hydrogen protects cell at its core. And then the core, which is the mitochondria, generates energy for all living organisms. And hence, with an increased energy, the ATP we call it, it will strengthen their resilience against these stresses. And hence, I think the result would be that the growth and survival of the crops or the livestock that we actually are doing would actually enable them to be maintained or even perform better. Yeah. So there's a few stress factors that revolves around hydrogen in agriculture. So what we do is to increase the salinity and alkaline soils. We know that drought is always a big problem, heavy metals in water, as well as I think very commonly viruses, which is what all farmers actually encounter. First case study we have that we use in the rice industry, where with the hydrogen irrigation, we understood that actually the yield has increased compared to traditional irrigation system. Based on some of our examples and studies, we have actually increased as much as 20%, and under extreme weather where normal irrigation will fail, as we shared earlier on, it could increase more than 50%. The same goes for wheat. If you can see 12% increase, strawberries, we see a very high increase in 39% of yield for strawberries, as well as I think in blueberry production, we have actually increased yield by more than 19%. However, not only that the yield will be increased, we do note that from certain studies that we have done in China, the wheat quality actually increased by 15%, and the hardness, with increased hardness, the crop can actually maintain much better. It's a 4% increase. For strawberries, it's the same case. It becomes sweeter. I think all of us wants it to be sweeter, and I think some tests have shown that people who tried hydrogen-infused strawberries reported more than 100%, 150% increase in their aroma and their taste. Same goes for blueberries. I wouldn't go too much into the details. People who feel that blueberries, as we know, is perishable, easily damaged, stronger is they stores longer with hydrogen-infused water. One interesting thing that we note in the tomatoes grown with hydrogen water is that the liposide, which is a powerful antioxidant, has increased by 17%. For green vegetables, we notice that there are 24% more proteins in terms of vitamins, B and C. There's a significant increase in the amount of vitamins grown with vegetables grown with hydrogen-infused water. So this is a summary of what we have shared earlier on, besides stress resistance to the environment, the growth rate and yield rate, which increases. There's also improved in taste and quality. And we actually will be able to utilize fertilizers at a minimal or optimal stage. We are able to retain the freshness for longer. In the longer duration, there are studies to show that it also improves the soil quality, hence reducing the amount of fertilizers needed or pesticides or herbicides that we can use in the soil. So this is an example of a first generation solution. It requires external hydrogen input. The amount of water is around 5 tons per hour. So the dimension wise is actually quite easy and portable, if you can see from the design. It weighs around 150 kg, so it must be pushed along. This is our second generation where we actually generate hydrogen nanobubbles via electrolysis. But there's no tanks involved, so it's also an even more compact and mobile design compared to the first version. We also disinfect it through the hypochlorite acid that is produced. And then we notice that for this solution, the concentration is more stable with these ultrafine nanoparticles. So as we mentioned just now, hydrogen-rich irrigation really improves the various parts from soil fertility, the crop health, growth and yield, and quality. So we do feel that this will really help farmers a lot in today's environment, especially with the larger climate change. There's been a lot of disruption to the farming industry, which hydrogen could play a significant role. Across all these different hydrogen plus solutions, there are also expanded solutions that we can see that we can use it for groundwater, irrigation, aquaculture. In terms of the hydrochloric acid that is produced, we can actually use it for disinfection, soil disinfection, and soil disinfection, water disinfection, as well as the plant factory, the disinfection abilities. There are also enhanced water penetration capacity, as well as the biological activation through bioceramics. So this, you can see the use of hydrogen plus will be able to be expanded besides only using for crops. As we mentioned, similar to growing crops, hydrogen in aquaculture also tackles these following issues faced by farmers in the aqua industry. The ammonia, nitrogen values, the amount of injury to the feedstock or to animals or fishes that actually consume normal water, viruses, and the use of a lot of antibiotics that we know. So with hydrogen water, we notice that animals are healthier. They have a better energy metabolisms, fewer disease because we are actually able to help them detox better, secrete waste better. And then we realize that there's better quality because they are less stressed and muscle fatigue, and the quality of the feedstock or the feed is actually better. Yeah, one case study that we used in pigs, cattle, and sheep is that we realized that when we actually help goats to feed on hydrogen-rich water, their cholesterol and creatine level at delivery is much lower. Like I mentioned earlier on, better metabolism rate and lipid balance in terms of cholesterol, higher chance of lamb survival. We actually did a comparison. There was zero mortality rate compared to the other control group where we have around 13%, which is quite normal in the industry. And they have lesser diarrhea. So we can also notice that using the water by feeding on hydrogen enriched water, the mothers actually recover much faster and protects newborn survival rates. This is one of our conclusions. Yeah, so these are some I mentioned. The big quality that was better because we retain more water, lower pH. In version 3 that we have right now, so we are able to not only produce hydrogen but also oxygen nanobubbles. Again, it's still a compact design. We have the continuous production of hypochlorite acid for disinfection, and we added bioceramics, which has a better, stronger antioxidant power. So I wouldn't go into the technical details. As you can see what I have repeated earlier on, these are some of the details. Happy to share this later on through the group or through VHAC. In the aquaculture, these are the benefit structure summary, which I wouldn't go into details because of time limitations. I would just wanted to highlight that actually the benefits are quite similar. I think in animals really to reduce inflammation, reduce use of antibiotics, etc., to create a better and more organic organic form of livestock that for human consumption. Yeah, so just now, just to summarize the benefits, like I mentioned, 24-hour, the water can be oxidized because we produce oxygen, and the sterilization because of hydrochloric acid. We rely lesser on chemicals and antibiotics. We can lower the energy and maintenance costs, and we actually have a better yield, fish survival rates, or crop survival rates. Yeah, this in summary, what we hope to boost water quality and oxygen balance, reduce disease outbreak, improve survival and growth rates, and then delivering better farm productivity and profits for everyone. So we have come to the end of our presentation. I hope that is useful for everyone. Should there be any questions, feel free to send me the email. VHAC has my contact. Hope to connect with everyone in person very soon again. Thank you very much and have a nice day.